Okay, Amy provide the following balance from his book. So this is the list, the list from the question and what they asked to do. Okay, they asked to prepare Amy trial balance at 31st March 2020. Show the difference in the trial balance total as, this is related to the correction of error. The moment we saw the suspend account. So we prepare the trial balance first. So the basic rule, okay, we go through the basic rule first before we do the exercise. Yeah. Okay. So the basic rule for the trial balance rule. Debit, you have asset, expenses, and then drawing. If you have any sales return, so you also in the debit side. There's some general idea about the trial balance. In the credit, you have liability, capital, and what else? Purchases, return, and then provision account. So this is general idea about the trial balance rule. So now based on this information, we have to know that for all these accounts belong to which section. So we list down first, capital, drawing, equipment, and then provision for depreciation of equipment, and then inventory at 1st April 2019, and then trade receivable, bank overdraft, trade payable, sales purchases, and then purchases return. Later I will list down all the section belong to so that easier for you. Okay, carriage inward, and then discount receive, commission receivable, rent and insurance, office expenses. Okay, I put in as a remark, this is not in the question needed, just for you to refer in case you want to understand more. In order to decide what section to be. Okay. Capital is under capital section. We are talking about the section. Here is talking about the account section, so that you got the better idea. Capital is under capital section. Drawing is actually under capital section. Equipment is a non-current asset. And then provision is also non-current asset. Inventory, current asset. And in the trial balance, take notes that inventory must be the opening inventory only. I just put in here, only opening inventory. Okay, closing inventory in the additional information. It will not appear in the won't appear in trial balance. So these some notes that you can refer. Okay, let me share it. Okay, so take notes about the inventory in case they have two inventory amount to show. Trade receivable, current asset. Bank is a asset, current asset. If they put bank overdraft, that means this is a current liability. Okay, next, trade payable is a current liability. Sales is under the revenue section. Purchases under cost of sales. Purchases return is reduce the purchases, so under cost of sales section. Carriage inward. Okay, what's the difference between carriage inward and carriage outward? Okay, carriage inward. This one is under cost of sales. Okay, cost of sales. Okay, carriage outward under expenses. Both also carriage and carriage cost actually is a transportation cost. Both also transportation costs, but one is under cost of sales, one is under expenses, because this is the transportation cost incurred to bring in the goods into business. That's why it's part of purchase cost. That's the reason why it's sitting under cost of sales, because it's part of the purchase cost. Whereas carriage outward is expenses. Carriage outward is the transportation cost incurred to deliver goods to customer. So this is the cost incurred sent to customer. We treat it as a part of the expenses. So take notes about the carriage inward, carriage outwards, because sometimes the question will also ask you to define these two terms. What is the difference for these two terms? Okay, now next, discount received. The word received behind indicate to you is an income. So this one is a cost of sales also. Okay, discount received, whatever commission received, so long you got the receive at the backward, this is other income. Under the section other income. Commission received, also receivable, also under the other income section. Next is rent and insurance under expenses, which is you need to pay every year. Office expenses, behind got expenses, understood is an expenses. So once we clear with all the section, then easier for us to fill in the number, because the basic rule is here telling us. So capital is 10369. So in the exam, as usual, in case that you feel difficulty, so many lines, try to draw and use your pencil, draw the every few line to see that the correct amount, because sometimes it's a careless mistake that we make. We saw the wrong amount put into it. It's not that we don't know. Okay, next, drawing. Drawing, even though it's capital, but it's reduced the capital amount, so it's in the debit side. Equipment, 15,500. Provision, 3100. Inventory, 1765. Okay, trade receivable, 1290, because all defined already, easier for us. Next, bank overdraft, 475. And then trade payable, 1600. Sales is revenue, credit. Next is that purchases, here, 18330. Purchases return to reduce the purchases amount is opposite. So 910. Carriage inward is part of the purchase cost. That means it's in the debit side. Discount received is an income. So credit. Commission receivable is also income account. Credit. Rent received, rent and insurance office is expenses. Debit. Okay. The question is very clear. Tell us that they want sure got this account got the imbalance. That's why they ask us to prepare the suspend account here. So the differences put into the suspend. But we don't know whether debit or credit. We just add the subtotal first. Okay. So credit more than the debit. In this case, we take credit minus 49650. So this is our balancing figure, suspend account. So in case you make a missing any item mistake, so automatically this suspend account will be wrong already. But the one is just maybe cost you 1 mark. Okay, that don't need to worry that. Okay, just try your best to put in the correct position, debit and credit. Now let's move on. Okay, here they have Amy later discovers several error has been made in the accounting record. So complete the table to show the error required to correct each error. That means we have to put through adjustment to make all this correction. For example, no entry has been made for the cash sales. So this is an omission. So we have to debit cash, credit the sales. So this one, as we see the double entry need to be made. So this first one is already done. So I will prepare the number 2. Office expenses 240 has been credited to the wages account. The thing is that they are not there. As office expenses by right should be debit. But now they make a mistake, go and credit. Somehow credit to the wrong account. So no debit entry has been made. They mean office expenses omitted. So we need to put back office expenses. Office expenses. So how much the office expenses amount? 240. But at the same time, we have to reverse the wrong account, which is the wages. So wages wrongly credited, that means we have to reverse out. We put into the debit side. Now both also debit. In this case, one side error. So suspend account coming in. Because suspend take 2 amount, because these 2 can add up together, put in total 480. Okay, next is that the purchases journal total for March was 2165. This amount was incorrectly recorded in the purchases account. So first of all, need to see whether over or under. It was incorrectly recorded in the purchases account as 2,600. That means purchases account overstated. Purchases account should be in the debit side. Now debit over. In this case, we had to credit out the amount. What is the amount that we need to credit out? This account should put in here because the format given is this way. So need to take note, should be put into his suspend because here is a different way. So in this case, purchases should be in the credit side. Let me put up first. Okay. So purchases account overstated, we have to credit it. So we take 2651 minus 2565. So 486. Same thing. This is a one side error because the other side didn't mention anything. So this one side must use suspend account to do the correction. Okay, the others, number 3. An insurance payment 375 has been correctly recorded in the cash book, but no other entry has been made. That means that insurance account omitted. Cash book correct. So you don't go and touch the cash book because cash book is correct. That means credit side is correct. Debit side is omitted. So insurance is expenses is in the debit side. Rent and insurance. Why I write rent and insurance? Because in the account on top, the account on top showing that here they put rent and insurance. So I record in the rent and insurance account. 375. But because it's a one side, the cash book is correct. Don't touch cash book. Touch the suspend account. 375. Next, one more item. The purchase of equipment 800 was correctly recorded in the cash book but debited to the office expenses. This is an error of principle. Equipment is a non-current asset. Office expenses is expenses. So the wrong section. This is a wrong class of the account. So error of principle, we put back the equipment, debit equipment, the amount 800, and we reverse the wrong account, which is the office expenses. The amount 800. So all the adjustment we already done. Okay, so each they give you 1 mark for the item that you recorded debit and credit. Okay, now let's continue. Here they ask to prepare the suspend account. Start with the difference on the trial balance. So what is the difference on the trial balance? So let's see. Okay. Go up to the question, see what is the trial balance. Yeah, I put in here so that easier for me to do the recording. Let's see the trial balance, how much the differences. Okay, suspend is 369 in the debit side. So we put into the debit side 369. And here, because the financial year is 2020, okay, we put in based on the last day of the transaction that we made. So 2000, let me see what is the financial year. Okay. So 31st March 2020. Okay, we put March 31st. Okay, balance brought down. This is the beginning, 369. Okay, the next thing, debit and credit, because we already done this account. If you saw the suspend, you put it in. This one in the credit side, so you put into the credit side. The date is all the last date. These two amounts will be in the credits because double entry concept. So here credit, put into the credit, but the detail we write the opposite account. Same thing here, suspend is in the debit. Maybe we have to record in the debit here, and the detail we take this one, opposite account, 486. The next one, suspend in the credit. So here credit, let me go to the credit, put in the amount. 375. So you notice that this side credit, you put credit. This side debit, you put debit. And here is credit again, so credit. So now we calculate how much the differences. If still got differences, that means something wrong with the account. If no differences, that means the account considered correct already. Okay, now two account, debit and credit are the same. That means this account should be settled. That means the account most likely have correct. In case that when you do the calculation, you put wrong side, and you found that the debit and credit total cannot be balanced. Okay, don't panic first. You check whether your next section, whether they talk anything about the suspend account. If the question say talking about suspend account, that means they could be the differences. There is an error still not found yet. If they didn't mention, they don't have, like example, this question, the end question already 20 mark, means that this question unlikely have the differences between debit and credit. If we found that there is a debit differences with the credit, that means we make a mistake in this adjustment, cause the balance had the differences. Because most of the time, suspend account in the exam, they seldom give you the differences after you put in all the adjustment. The total debit credit should be the same. But if they happen sometime in the exam question, they show the differences. But when they show the differences, normally in the question, they still continue ask something. Behind, they still got question to ask you. That is the test. If this question, the behind still got question saying that what you have seen in the suspend account, what is the meaning of the differences? Then in this case, they're trying to give you the hints that your suspend account still got balances. But this question, because they didn't talk anything up, the last part is a suspend account already. So unlikely this question have the differences. You must get debit and credit must be the same amount. There is something that be careful with the correction of error under suspend account topic. So by right, both must be the same. In case you didn't get the same, then be careful with your adjustment in here already. You have to double check whether you got debit credit wrongly put in or not. So this is for the second question that I share. Okay, now next is